my friend, it's Pat Sloan here. So we are on the back side of the table here because we're going to cut half square triangles for the heart of America. But before we do that, Marie, sweet Marie in North Carolina sent me a card along with 110,000 K, which is 110,000 subscriber sign, a new sign. So Marie has been making these, and thank you so much. So I will hang it up for a while. I will hang it up over there because, you know, gotta do it. Maybe I'll switch it out at the next 10,000. Thank you, Marie, for keeping me in signage. Also, oh my goodness, there is a new insulated cup, tall cup with my merchandise stuff. But look, can you see? This is almost like tile work. It is like so freaking cool. Look at this. Kate Spain is the designer for my things, and she also sources all the different items and keeps quality control. Her and her husband Pete run the store for their products and my products. Also, May the 4th inch be with you comes in not exactly this style, but the same size in black. I don't know if she's got a white one, I can't remember. But May the 4th inch be with you, which you need for May the 4th. Oh, so good. Okay, we also have the May calendar. For those of you new to my channel and sewing along with me, I put a calendar out every month so that it shows all the projects and also just kind of fun days, because there's always fun days, the celebrations on the days, and I like talking about those. And we often then will share, do you have a quilt that, fits that theme? And then you just always check, because I don't do a video every single day, so I mark the days that I'm not doing a video, because I do have days off from the regular video work. And the second page lists the projects. So we've got the list there, and the free ones, the patterned ones, fundraisers, that kind of a thing, so you know what's going on. You can go download this today at I Love to Make Quilts. Right at the top is the calendar. So that's good. Also, I ordered this pattern, the Walkabout. This is by Ann Lauer, and she is a Benertex fabric designer. And this pattern has always intrigued me. I've always wanted to make it. And I thought, I'm just going to order it, because I was ordering something else. Well, a few other things. And I thought, okay, let's get it. And so I now have it, and I'll have to make one. And so many of you suggested cafe clips for the quilts to hang up here. Like instead of hanging them flat like this that you see up there on the rod, to use the cafe clips. And I personally have never really used cafe clips, because I like the top of the quilt to be straight and flat, which is why I do the hanging sleeve. But for the quilts that are a little wider, these might work. So I decided to measure so that I got ones that fit, and I got a package of cafe clips for this curtain rod. So I'm going to give them a go and just see. I'm going to see what they're like, see how they work. It is also license plate day. Now, I actually had a personalized license plate for many years for quilting, and it is stuck up on my design wall now. Let me show you. So there it is, PS Quilt, Virginia license plate, and that is what I had on my car for many years. It was funny. One day, somebody wrote me a comment or something and said, "Where did you get that?" I'm like, "Well, at the Virginia Department of Motor Vehicles. That's where I got mine," because it was on my car. You can get personalized plates, I think, in every state. Virginia happens to be a state where there's a lot of them. They're not that much more money to get. So now it's fun to have it in here. I don't have it on the car anymore. But license plates, there's also there was these statewide shop hops, that the stores created little fabric license plates. and images with their slogan and whatever. And so if you have a quilt or a project that you use those license plates, I would love for you to share it at Quilt Along with Pat Sloan. I think that would be so fun to see and inspire people that maybe have collected them and haven't done anything with them yet, because it happens, right? So we're going to do a little Heart of America. We're going to work on, this is a free pattern that we're sewing. I'm very excited. I've got the star done in the middle, and now I'm going to work on the star points. And I am going to cut the fabric into the squares and sew two at a time versus the paper. I can sew two at a time pretty quickly. I don't have to draw lines because I've got a guide on my sewing machine. And so that's what I'm going to do. So let me get this stuff out of the container. You can use the triangles on a roll. I instead am going to use the directions in the pattern and do 2 half square triangles at a time. So that is available to those of you who want to use it. Okay, let me show you the fabrics. I had what came as a kit, and it had a fat eighth bundle. So here are all the reds, and you need 6 reds. So I am not using this one because this would just lose a star point. The star points would just fade away. You want them nice and solid, those star points. You don't want something like this, which is a super wide stripe. Like this one is a really tight stripe. It reads a color. This one, if I made it into a half square triangle and put it, here we'll just see. We'll put it here. I cut some of these. So if you put it against here, you see it, but it's going to be an odd man out. This would be every so often this kind of weird light stripe thing. So we don't need it. So that'll go over there for some other project. The directions are that we're cutting, and read your directions. We're cutting 4 from each of these of the square. So 4 squares from each of these, and then we need, they're all the same light background. And I can cut 3 strips, the width of the fabric, just the whole width there. 3 strips will get me everything I need. So I'm going to go ahead, let's just see on this fat eighth what that looks like to get 4 off of here. Now this one has these silvery flowers, and there's a big old crease because of course it's been folded. So do you press that crease out? What's the truth? What is the truth, my friend? Okay, my real truth is that often I don't. Is that a good practice? Heck no, it's not. It's not a good practice. So today I'm going to do a good practice, and I'm going to press that out. In case you didn't realize, each set makes one side like this. Each set makes one side. So I'm going to sew up one set, and then I'm just going to make one of the star points. So here they are laid out, and I did one set, like I showed you these sets. So I did, sewed one set of these, and that's all the colors of red. And now, like, these are a little bit too much the same. So I think switching like this, right? Now, what you could do here is make each one the exact same. And of course they're rotated. But that means like the outer point will be this fabric in every single one, and that may be, do I have these right? Holy moly, do I have these right? No, that's why it's not looking right. Are all of you yelling, rotate the half square triangles? Are you yelling that? You should be. There we go. Is this right? Yes. Okay. All right, continue on. So this would be the top point, would be the same red. So I'm debating. I might make each of the 4 sets a little different and then switch them around. So I think that's what I'm going to do. But now I will just sew these 2 and we'll take a look. So I went ahead and made 2 at a time, And actually, when you rotate them, the stars will be at the opposite end, but I'm still going to make each of them just a little bit different so that it's a little bit scrappy and not feeling like they're all identical. But I think if you did them all identical, that's totally fine too. Okay, so I've got these two. Now, I have a little machine quilting discussion with the Breakfast Club quilt. So I have that up on the wall, and I thought, oh, let me just show you this. So let's take a look. Before I finish quilting this, I want to show you what's going on with the type of quilting I've done so that you have a real good visual of what is happening. We're going to come in close. So I have done the wave stitch, and I decided to do it quite a bit. I didn't want to leave all of this open because it was just too poofy for me. Like it would be like poofy like this, and I didn't want that look. I wanted it to be flat. So there's 4 across, 2 in the middle. I could have just done 1 down the middle, but I decided to just go ahead and do it a little bit tighter. You saw me working on the egg, so the egg is finished. And I did like a flower thing in there. You can see how tight that is. Now look at this. I did not quilt the little blue. And the pancakes are done. Did not quilt the little blue. And the bacon's done. So you can kind of see now. I'm going to pull back so you can kind of see they have a tiny bit of relief. You know, I have a pretty flat batting. If you had a thicker batting, they would actually kind of poof out a little bit. The egg yolk kind of feels like that a little bit because there's no quilting in the middle of that. Now I want to show you the border here. So because I'm doing this, it's kind of a crosshatch, or you know, so it's, yeah, I guess we call that a crosshatch, down and across. So that in this area, I both got down and across. But over here, I'm not doing across, and here I'm not doing down. So there is an overlap in this section. Also in this whole corner, you can see there's an overlap. So it means it's more densely quilted in those spots, which I'm going to leave. It's probably not what people normally do, but I'm going to leave that. So that means the 4 corners and each of the intersection spots along the border will have that more dense quilting. It is not going to affect it much, I don't think. I don't think it's going to make it wave. That's the one thing you have to watch out for. You can see here, do you see here how it has a little bit of a lift? It's not trimmed or anything, but I think once it's trimmed, you know, because I've got no quilting, and that's really what's causing a bit of the lift, is there's no quilting out here because they're going to be binding on there. So when I trim it, I don't think that that's going to really be there anymore because I'm probably going to be trimming even maybe half of that away. Now the next thing, okay, so that's sort of about the sashing, the border, and how the quilting, so it's dense, it's more dense. It could be even denser, but it's not. If you go back and look at my matchstick quilting, that was super dense. But this is fairly dense because I wanted to have the background fairly dense on the quilting. You know, I wanted it to kind of flatten down. So you can see here the difference between the juice cup and the cereal bowl. The cereal bowl has not had any quilting yet. There's no quilting on it at all. And you can see how it's kind of poofy. You know, all of that will get flattened down and look like this. If I just flattened that down and didn't do anything in these bigger images, they would, you know, they may be fine, but they might also give a little bit of like a droop, like a drooping out, particularly the toast. I could not leave this. This would be practically the whole block, right? Because the toast is like the whole block. So that means in the toast, just like the juice, I will do something so that I don't have this, you know, most of the block unquilted, which would give this effect, you know, just, it doesn't match the rest of the quilt. And here's the last thing. Matching your quilting density, for the most part, should be across your entire quilt. If you have a lot of spaces that are open like this, and then a lot of spaces that are dense like this, your quilt is not going to lay real flat, and it may twist a little bit because it is not balanced. So you need to have balanced quilting. It doesn't have to be exact. You know, that's why I can leave these corners, because they're not going to need to be exact. But you just don't want to then leave, like I couldn't just leave all those applique open with no quilting. They wouldn't look nice to me. They probably, the quilt may be a little bit twisted, maybe wouldn't look quite right. So, okay, so I will finish. I've got 5 left. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to free motion. And then I have the blue for binding. I went and checked. I have it. It's already cut and made. So I want to get the rest of those squares quilted very, very soon, in the very near future. Also, I was looking through stuff and I realized I could switch a basket around. Let me show you that. All of a sudden it occurred to me, I have this basket here that's been sitting up on the counter, which is fine. But I have this one here, which is struggling. It's actually a little too small, but at the time, this is the size basket I had, and I have all of these lights. You know, they're lights with patterns on them, you know, lots of fun stuff, tomatoes. And all of a sudden I realized this other bin is wider, so I can switch them. Why didn't I think of this sooner? Why didn't I think of this sooner? So I am going to take all of this out, and I've gone through this before, and I am sure that most everything in here I want to keep. So I don't know that I'm gonna get rid of anything. You know, it's just too fun. There's so much fun. This is all the really, really fun stuff that you can see just on the piles. Oh, some of it you've sent me, a lot of it I've collected. So that stack is gonna fall. Cool stuff like this. You actually just saw this piece on the this is what I used for the block, the Earth Day block. So I had a piece of this in the Earth Day block. Here's a piece of Marilyn Monroe somebody sent me, and yeah, other random stuff, all kinds of other random stuff. So this one, I believe, is definitely, here's the other bin. Can you see? Why can't you see? So there, like this is wider. So we're going to shift all this over here. This stuff that some of it I've shown you, like the shells. I just have not put it away. I think I even showed you this bundle, but I have another whole place I can put that bundle. So it doesn't need to go in here. I've got like an excessive amount of jelly rolls lately. Well, not really, but I got not jelly rolls. I got duplicates. I got like a jelly roll and a layer cake of this. I don't know what was going on in my head. Okay, now let's look at this. Look at this. Why does sometimes like little miracles take forever to figure out? And there's actually tons more room. Look at this. Tons of room. Look. Ah, so good. Okay, look. Look how sweet they are. Look at them. This is the kind of little miracle fabrics I have in here. Lots and lots of fun stuff. All right, so now I can put this. This is tiny. I don't want to lose it. Stuff it back in there. Same with this one. They're small. I don't want to lose them on the edge. They'll just go under my table. Okay, so now I have this, and I will just put it under the table where it fits so much better. Yeah, that is so much better. Okay. Whew. Now I will put this Longenberger basket. This is a Longenberger. They came in different. They close for a while. Longenberger in the back again, but they always seem to have different color baskets, and I have several of the red ones of this size. So now I can put that over there, and it's a little smaller, which is a bonus, right? A bonus. Okay, my friend, You are going to make star points, and I might just, we'll see. We'll see if I get all 8 of them done for next Thursday. I'm thinking that that's a goal, all 8 of them for next Thursday, and then we'll be setting them, setting that giant star in the middle. So cool! It looks so cool. And thank you, thank you, thank you. I will hang it up. Oh, and don't forget your calendar. Download your May calendar. So I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.